get him up to the bars and I say, oh, look it, this is how it's gonna go, bro. In the morning time, you're gonna come out of your cell and you're gonna walk up to everybody, not mean everybody. You're gonna say that you're a bitch and you've been dodging. We're in the fucking house, in the place to be. You know what I mean? Anyways, bro, right? So tonight, I'm gonna be talking about some fucking heat. You know what I mean? Bro, you ever notice how... You ever seen somebody get their card pulled? And you're like, damn, man, you know, I pretty much thought this dude was a killer. You know, I did not expect him to bitch up like that, bro. I did not expect him to go out like that. Well, they do sometimes, bro, and sometimes it surprises the hell out of you, and you're like, wow, I expected a lot more from that dude. Or like the dude who's always talking about how he's a mixed martial artist or a boxer, and then he gets wiped down by somebody who can't even fight, the shirt over the head, like pounding him out, whatever, right? There's surprises all the time. You know, you can never really know. You never know how somebody's gonna react until it comes time for them to actually put that work in. Till it comes time for him to put up or shut up, you're not gonna know. You know, there's those people that talk a great game and they got nothing in them. Then there's those people who don't talk at all and they're the biggest savages. Then there's the people who run their freaking mouths all day long and will still fight you. They're arrogant, cocky assholes, but they'll still fight. Those are the worst. I hate them because it's like, damn, man, shut the fuck up. But you don't want to say that because they'll fight you. Or you do say it and fight them and then they just want to fight you again. Like, man, my boy Boo was like that, bro. He was an arrogant dude, bro, but he will go in and he will keep going in until it was over, bro. And like, you gave up or you gave in or you got your ass kicked and he won and he was satisfied with that because he ain't leaving until it is like that. So, you know, there's all kinds of people, bro, and you can never truly know how someone's gonna fare until they have to, you know, they have to back those words up, right? Or just back themselves up, you know, because they don't talk. So tonight I'm gonna be talking about this dude, bro. Big dude. Real loud, real tough. Actually was crushing shit. But I pulled his card in a bad way. And he did not come out the other end the same. I just want to say first, before I even start this, that this channel is about, right? I found Jesus and he changed my heart. He changed my life. He changed my view of the world, my perspective on things, and gave me drive, focus, and a voice that I've never had before. He gave me a platform. He gave me a life. I'm finding new surprises, new blessings every single day, right? And that's what happens when you devote your life to a positive cause, a mission that's above you, greater than yourself, and you allow him to do this for you. He fills your spirit up and he pushes you along the path you're supposed to be on, the one that you were born for, you were meant for. So this is stories of my life, right? And there's no saying like, oh, this didn't happen to me. This is not my life. This is my life. This is what I was like. This is who I was. The overall message is, this is who I am now. This is what I'm choosing to do with my life and how I'm choosing to recreate my pain and turn it into a positive message and triumph. Out here in Cambridge Community Television, beautiful city, beautiful place, awesome people. I just went live tonight on the Bounce Back podcast. You guys go check out my guest appearances playlist and see me out on there. Leave him some love. Shout out to the Bounce Back podcast. Shout out to all the prison podcasts right now, man, doing their thing and putting in that work. So let me get to the story, right? Where it started, how it happened. This is in the classification building when they turned Walpole from a level 5 maximum security or to a classification. It's a level 5 still. A prison stays the same security from the time it's born until the time it dies, right? So a level 5 just means that they have heightened security measures. Sousa Baranowski is a maximum security as well. Anything a level 5 and above is maximum security. Level 6 is supposed to be super max. Sousa Baranowski's level 6. So I get put into classification in 2013. When I took my time in August of 2013. I took 10 to 12 for an armed home invasion. And I was super mad. I go in there. I was so mad all the time. My blood pressure was so high. And I remember laying in my bed at nighttime going, damn, if I do not change the way I am feeling and acting right now, I am going to die. I'm going to kill myself with anger. Anger will take me out because I treated people with respect. I really did. I respected those who respected me. I did not come out of pocket. I saved my anger for those who treated me with disrespect or pissed me off by being disrespectful to somebody I cared about. This paid off because the people around me respected me more for being loyal to them, and the people who respected me, I showed them respect back, and it got me more respect because the people who did disrespect me, I would come at them crazy. They would find out really quick if you disrespected me what is going to happen. And I thought that was the way to be because motherfuckers need to fear you and they need to respect you. And yes, I got respect for treating people with respect. I'm in Walpole. I start my bid off in 3 block, which is the old boyo tier, where all my brothers used to go to do their time. And they had the gang blocks over there. And that was basically, you only come out with your tier. Walpole is notoriously dangerous. Even as a classification unit, people come in there and they got this view of prison like they've been in the movies or something. This dude watched too much TV. He heard too many stories from people in the county. And he came up there thinking that he was fucking like Don Corleone of the black race, right? He was a black dude. And I got along with all these dudes, bro, right? Everybody from every race fucked with me. They seen the way I move. And you could tell the people who've been upstate from the people who haven't by the way they move in classification. Now, the people who haven't been upstate, they come up there and, like I said, they act like they've been in the movies or something. They're fucking overly aggressive. They're overly, they're pumping their chest out, trying to force it. You can tell they're forcing it. The guys who've been around, they carry themselves with humbleness and confidence because they know what to expect. They know what they're looking at. This dude didn't know what the fuck he was looking at. And to make it worse, when he was in the county, he would act like an asshole. He was beating dudes up all over the place. He was constantly in fights, disrespecting the fuck out of people in there. And the counties are filled with younger cats who don't know how to do bids. So, he had a lot of victims, people that he could take his anger and his frustration and his rage about how weak he was as a human being. And that's it. I think that people who are very weak inside, they have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, they're bullies. They take advantage of people who they know they can take advantage of despite how they treat them in the first place. So for what I mean is how they treat them. So if the person is a little weaker guy, but he treats them with respect, you should treat him with respect straight back because it's not about picking and choosing. You don't pick and choose your victims. You fucking treat people how they treat you. And it doesn't matter if they're Jolly the Green Giant or a fucking midget, right? You take care of them how they take care of you. If they treat you with disrespect, you disrespect them back. If they treat you with respect, you respect them back if they're a good dude anyway, right? Good dudes should get treated like good dudes across the board. Doesn't matter how strong, how tough, how not tough, or how not strong you are. Simple as that, right? And that's the way I've lived my life. I don't like bullies, but I did associate with people that were bullies. But, if you're a fucking serious ass dude and you're a bully, then, really, what are you going to say about that? You know what I mean? Like, the dude will kill you. He'll kill the biggest guy, but he'll also bully the littlest guy. And it's sad to say, but some people were raised differently. And that's just how it goes. That's prison. Prison's a dog-eat-dog world. People live by their own rules and laws. There's a code. And solidarity is the code. You know what I mean? And sometimes people do get bullied. And that's the way it goes. You'll get strong-armed. You got a lot of money, You're on the plate. If you can't handle your business, you're on the plate. You're food. So you got to really be able to know what you're doing, you know what you're looking at, know how to treat people, know how to maneuver, and know how to move. That's it. This dude came into Walpole. The first thing I ever heard from him, and I was already doing my time in 3 Block. I had already, people that knew me from up the way before on my last bid. I'd only been gone for 8 months on the streets. When I came back, I was big. I had been taking some steroids and shit on the streets, and I was working out in the streets. So I was big. I was a big ass dude, bro. A lot bigger than I am now, and I'm in good shape. I'm already maneuvering. I got my business going. I got the Sobos and shit on Smash, and anything that comes through, I'm getting my hands on it. Everybody respected me. Like I said, I had my thing going. I had food all the time. I did the right thing. Like, I moved the right way. I made sure I was always good. I took care of my friends, and anybody who disrespected me found out real quick they shouldn't have did that. Right? But this dude had no idea who I was because he had never been up the way. He did not talk to the dudes who had really, and he was in the county acting like he was the boss of everything, and he came up there with the same mindset. So I'm on the tier one day, and I'm talking to somebody. They're in front of me, and most of the people that are there, they have not been upstate before. They're new jacks, and you got to show them how to move. You got to teach them how to be convicts. So in order to do that, you got to be an example for them. You got to do the right thing so that they could do the right thing in return. You can't show them the wrong way and expect them to go do things the right way just naturally. You got to do it the right way so that they will see that and be like, I want to do it like that. This dude gets respect. This dude gets treated the way I want to be treated. So therefore, I'm going to act the way he acts in order to get treated the same way, with respect and dignity, with getting in the pack, getting his hands on stuff, moving the right way. People show him love, but all that stuff, right? So I'm talking to one of these younger cats, showing him how a real dude acts upstate. Behind me, there's a new crowd of people coming in. Now, a couple people knew this dude from the county. He's a big dude. Don't get it twisted. He's a fucking big ass dude. He worked out. He was good shape, really tall, very big. Came from the straight hood. Like, the kid was raised in the hood, so a lot of kids from his neighborhood knew him that were there, and everybody had some kind of view of him like he was a tough dude. He handled his business. But that's the problem with bullies, is you see them beat up people that know they could beat up for so long. You think like maybe he'll do that to anybody, but they don't. And nobody pulls their card because they're big and they might be able to handle their business. And if you can't take him, or if you don't have that confidence, he's going to see that as a bully and attack it. So you have to have the confidence in order to handle somebody like this. And he's not going to be able to know that until he pulls the wrong card. He'll get too much confidence thinking everybody's going to back down to you. After a certain amount of time, bullies get this aura like everybody's going to bitch up because they're a bully, and that's how they think. They think everybody's beneath them until they find out. So I hear this dude talking, and he's being very loud, but I don't pay no attention to it because you mind your business upstate. You really do. You just got to mind your business. Keep your head forward. Notice what's going on around you, but don't be in their business. Right? This dude comes in and he yells, something, bitch. And I turn around like, because, like, you don't yell that shit, number one, right? Because, like, anybody could think you're talking to them, and then you got a problem because someone says, like, yo, who the fuck you talking to? Then you're going to have to fight them because they're trying to pull your card. Number one, you shouldn't be in my conversation. I don't want you in my conversation, so I'm not going to talk loud. But people will open their door for that shit. They deserve it, right? This kid yells, bitch, but I notice he's talking to a group of other people, and he's not looking out and other directions towards me or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, weird. But, like, to each his own, right? People come from different counties. They're doing bids in different ways. They don't do time. Everybody doesn't do time in every place the same way. And South Bay is one of those places. Nashua Street, South Bay in the Boston area, Suffolk County. They're wild. They got a lot of young gangster kids coming off the streets with bodies, and they act a whole different way. You know what I mean? Like, they're in there, they're facing life or doing life, and They don't care about nothing. And if they grew up as a bully, they got that aura about them, and they're gonna continue to be arrogant and like that. And a lot of them will fight. A lot of them do fight. And that's just how they are as people. So you think like maybe they are a bitch because they're being loud, whatever. They're not. Like that's how they are. And a lot of times they're not even being aggressive. That's how they are. So you just got to take people for face value and how they treat you. This dude yells that. I look around at him. I'm like, yo, looking, making sure he's not looking in my direction or trying to, direct this towards me. And I'm like, I look, he's not looking towards me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I go about my business. That was my first time meeting the kid or just seeing him. And I don't like it already. I instantly do not like it. Like, this dude's loud screaming the B word. Who the fuck does that? Nobody. Right? You gotta be a real asshole to be doing some shit like that. Be totally fearless or a total beast to be able to act like that. Right? And I'm thinking maybe he is. You know what I mean? Maybe this kid's a savage. Who knows? But I'm not trying to deal with him. I don't want to be involved in it. I'm moving a different way where I avoid anything that can be avoided. I'm gonna avoid it. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to do things. Prison's like a science. And so I ignore him for then, right? So then 2 nights go by and he's now on the white phone with a big line of dudes waiting to get on the phone. Mind you, I'm not one of those people, but I am the most respected white dude on the block. And people do look to me for answers and to kind of control the scene for us. So people come to me like, yo, this dude's on our phone. Like, what should we do? You know what I mean? Is this an issue we should be handling right now? And I said, look, let me talk to the dude, right? So I go over to him while he's on the phone, dialing his number, and I put my hand on the trigger so that the phone's not going to keep dialing, and he can't just hop on, where he was waiting in the other line for the black phone and seeing this one open up, and the guy that was next wasn't paying attention and jumped in front of him, thinking I could do whatever I want. This is the type of attitude this dude had. So I talked to him. I said, look, there's a way things run up here, and you can't just jump on any phone. You guys got your own phone. We got our own phone. And that's how it works. There's one phone that anybody could use. That's the 4th phone in line. And if that phone opens up, there's a list for that phone where times. So people write the time they want each phone. Each phone has a list of times. The white dudes write their list on this one, black dudes on this one, Spanish dudes on this one, and then this is anybody's phone. So if you write your name on that list at any time, that's your time, and people will put up with, anybody could be on that phone, right? So that's the phone you got to seek out if you want to get on the phone, if you're a different race and that's not your race's phone. So for him to be on this phone, there's no reason for him to be on that phone. There's no way he should be on that phone. And this is not racist. This is just the way things work to keep everybody in order and give everybody a chance to have shit without bullshit. Because, yeah, this is how problems start. When you just let everything run willy-nilly, that's how issues start between races. And that's what you don't want. So to keep the peace between us, we make our own phones and we run it according to our own people, so we don't have to get involved in other races' politics. They run their phone, we run our phone, Spanish dudes run their phone, and this is the phone that everybody might have a problem over if there's a problem. But because we all have mutual respect in our blocks, in this prison system, usually it's all right. But this dude apparently didn't have respect for anybody. Nobody. And this was very apparent. I started talking to him like, yo, bro, you can't do that. He's like, yeah, well, I got to get on the phone, man. And he's like, I'm not. He's like, I see an open phone. Nobody's getting on, and I'm going to get on the phone. I said, well, that's not the way things work, my dude. And you're not going to get on the phone. Because, see, you're just going to end up talking to somebody like me, and you're not going to be on the phone anyways, and this is going to cause an issue because I'm not always going to be talking. He said, oh, yeah. And he starts being disrespectful by not looking at me, not paying attention to me, and he keeps on taking steps away from me like he's going to walk away from me in the middle of the conversation. So I said, look it, bro, how about this? You just do your own thing. That's the black phone right there. You talk to your people about the situation. Yeah. And he just walks away. And I'm like, okay. It's my first interaction with this dude, and I already am very, very close to punching his head in. He doesn't know this because I act humble. And I do not come out of pocket unless you give me a reason, because I want to be righteous when something like this happens. So, the next day, in the yard, in the yard, anybody uses any phone. In the big yard in Walpole, it's a classification yard. It's not like it used to be where there was a white phone, black phone, and Spanish phone. Now it's anybody in the yard. You see a phone open, you're waiting in line, you just get the next phone. There's no list, there's no line, nothing, because anybody could be in the yard from any block on the maximum end. So you just get a phone. I mean, there's no way to control which race is on which phone out in the yard because there's too many people out there. So, and there's an uneven number of different people on different races out there. So you just let anybody get on the phone, right? It's just, we all have mutual respect. So you wait in line, whoever's next gets on the phone. This dude walks from the picnic table, walks over to a younger white kid who he knew he could bully, and says, phone check. Rips the phone out of his hand, says phone check. Who the fuck says that? That is a movie thing. It's not real. There's no such thing as a phone check, fool. And he says phone check, rips the phone out of his hand, punks the kid off. Kid walks away tells me yo, this dude just phone checked me. Said what? He what? He said he phone checked me. He took the phone from me. I said, well, go do something. Don't let him take the phone from you. And if you're gonna let them take the phone from you, then you deserve it. Right? Stick up for yourself. And if you stick up for yourself, I'm gonna stick up for you. But I'm not going to go fight your battles. I'll control the peace on the block. Like in a situation that happened where he used the white phone and I talked to him about it, which didn't happen again, mind you. So he must have had some type of smarts. But now this out in the yard with another white kid, and I'm thinking this dude's targeting white dudes. He thinks we're soft. It's all right. Now, I took it in the back of my head. He thinks we're soft. They're just not always very apparent with their softness. They act tough when they're not. So I said, okay, about a week of things like this go by. A week or two, maybe 2 weeks. And I'm very fed up with the kid. Don't want to be near him. Don't want to talk to him. Don't want him to be around me, close to me, nothing. And if anything happens with him and one of my friends, I'm crushing him. But nothing like that was happening. So I was like, go your own way, buddy. Best thing for you. Right? It's first thing in the morning. Everybody's out in the yard. Everybody goes to the yard. And only the people that wanted to go to the library stay back on the unit. I tell this kid, I say, yo, grab your cards. Because there's 10 packs of cards on the poker table. There's 3 dudes playing poker over there that didn't go to the yard. One of them is this dude. Another one is a dude I was upstate with in the max with, knew me very well. And another one, I don't know him at all. He's nobody. I tell the kid that I was sitting at the table with, I say, go grab your cards, let's play a game of whist. He said, all right. He go grab his cards, and now my boy comes down. He's a black dude, he's a Muslim. Funny dude, great dude. I'd been upstate with him. He was in the max with me, knew me very well, and he comes down, he says, yo, Maddie, I got something for you to read. It's hilarious. It's 21 ways to hold your N-word down while they're in prison. So I say, okay, yeah, let me get it. And I go up to his cell. I grab the paper. Sorry, it's 3 pages of paper. And I grab it from him. I come down. Now, this dude went over to the poker table where he had kindly, mind you, let them use his cards, brand new deck of cards to play poker with. They weren't using it. So he took them, put them on the table without saying anything because they were his cards. He just said, yo, he looked at the people there. They knew they were his cards. So he just looked at them, basically like, yeah, I'm here. Grabbed my cards, put them on the table where we were all sitting. I grabbed the paper. I come down. And now the cards are just sitting there now because I read the first page and I handed it to the kid next to me. I said, pass it around. We'll read this shit real quick. So the cards are sitting in front of him on the table. And we're reading these papers, passing them around, 3 pages. I read one, pass it. He read it, pass it. I read it, pass it. Now I get done and I'm sitting there waiting for these 2 dudes to finish reading. And this dude keeps looking over and looking over and looking over. And I'm like, this dude's going to say something. Watch. I know it. The way this dude is, he's saying something. I can tell already. So he says something. He goes, yo, let me ask you something. He's telling the kid who grabbed the card deck. Now, the kid's a young kid, first time upstate. You could tell he was kind of nervous. He was a little dude. Very respectful, not a rat, not a skinner. We treated him with respect. That's how everybody should get treated. Wasn't disrespectful, didn't come out of pocket. He was no victim. You know what I mean? He was what it is. He's a young kid that's come up upstate. We're going to teach him the ropes. You know what I mean? Until he gives you a reason to think he's not worthy of it, that's what we're doing. This dude goes, let me ask you something, bro, right? The kid goes, okay, what's up? And dude goes, he's like, what, you got a problem with me or something? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, you grabbed them cards, you ain't even gonna use them. He's like, you got a problem with me or something? You don't want me to use your cards? Kid's like, nah, I was grabbing them because we're gonna play whist. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm looking at him now, kind of smirking, because I'm like, I hope you don't let this dude punk you off right now, because that shit will make me mad. Very mad, bro. You're sitting at my table, you better stick up for yourself type of thing, right? I'm looking at him like, and just eyeing him. Like, and he goes, he's like, what, you think I'm a punk or something? And the kid goes, nah. And he's like, yeah, he's like, that's some faggot shit, he says. That's some real faggot shit. So I look at the kid now, I'm like, fucking gonna say something, dude? You're gonna stick up for your fucking self? I didn't say this, but I'm saying it in my head, and I'm looking at him like that. Like, fucking better say something, bro. And the kid doesn't say anything, he's nervous. And now the kid's looking at me now. And I can tell this dude's gonna say something to me, watch. And I was in my head, I'm thinking, good, let him say something to me, because this is gonna go not the way he's thinking right now. And I could tell the other kid at the card table playing poker with him smiling, because he knows this isn't gonna go well for his buddy here. Now, like I said, the dude's a big dude, and he's been known to be a fighter, and he talks a good game. So now, I even thought the kid was a scrapper. Like, I know he's a scrapper. Everybody comes from the county is like, yeah, he was down there fucking shit up. Because everybody's talking about the kid, because he's loud, arrogant, he's phone checking guys like the movies. And like, you talk about people like that, you're like, what the fuck? Who is this dude? You know? And so dudes would say, like, he's a tough dude, bro. So he looks at me and he's like, yo, what's up, bro? He's like, you gonna use them cards? I said, look it, I don't need to explain myself to you, bro. I'll use them when I want to use them. And he's like, oh yeah? He's like, yeah, you feel like that, bro? I see, yeah. And I'm kind of laughing like, you fucking idiot. Don't go any further, like. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, you feel like that, huh? He's like, you feel like that? He's like, there's plenty of cells around here. I said, bingo. So I get up, I said, yeah, you're right. There is. So I get up and I walk in. My cell was right there. Right off the back, it was cell 13. It was 3 cells from the back of the tier. There's only 15 cells in the block. So I walk in my cell. I go to the back of my cell and I take my shirt off because I had the jumpsuit because we were going to the library. So I rip my shirt off and I'm like, hey, you fucking faggot. I said, come in here, you bitch-ass motherfucker. You want to fight? I was like, come in here. And I'm whispering because there's not a lot of people on the block. And I'm thinking, like, this dude's going to come in here. I'm going to fight him, bro, right? And I was very ready to do this. And I can fight. And I don't give a fuck how big you are. I beat up the biggest dudes. It's the little ones I'm scared of. I don't want to lose a fight to a little dude, then I look like an idiot. You know what I mean? Guy little in me. But the bigger dudes, it's like if I lose, it's like I did the right thing anyways. You know what I mean? And even if I lose, I fought a dude that's bigger than me. I had heart. If you're smaller than me and I fucking lose, it's like, well, you know, I tried to pick on someone smaller than me and I got beat up. That's the type of view. So it's like, whatever. Dude, come in here. I don't care if I lose, you know? I'm telling him, come in here. So he walks to the door, and then he walks away a little bit. Then he comes over to the door. He's like, oh, we gonna do this. Then he goes back a little bit to the table. Then he walks to my door. He's like, we gonna do this. We gonna do this. And then he walks back to the table. Like, we're gonna do this. I'm like, come in here, bro. He's like, yeah, you stunting. He's like, you stunting. I'm like, I'm stunting. So now he comes to the door close enough. And I lunge up. I lunge to the door, and I'm going to grab him and pull him in. But he backs up real quick. He's like, yeah, we're going to do this, motherfucker. He's like, you stunting right now. He's like, because you trying to get us lugged. I said, what? I said, you're a bitch. You're a straight up bitch. And the dude at the table's dying laughing. He's like, yo, you don't want no problems with this white boy here, bro. You don't want no problems with this white boy, bro. And he's like, yeah, he's dying laughing. Dying laughing. He knew this shit was coming because he knew me, you know? The dude's like, yeah, when everybody comes back from library, he's like, come meet me in my cell. He's like, we're going to do it in my cell on my terms. So what the fuck are you even talking about, bro? Like, we don't pick and choose terms here, but I'll do whatever you want. How about that? Right? So I put my shirt back on. I walk out like, you're a bitch. And I'm laughing because he's a bitch. Straight up bitch. And I didn't even know it. Nobody knew it. Everybody who was at the table heard me calling him a bitch and calling him in the cell, trying to grab and pull him in there. He wouldn't come in there. He wouldn't even come in my door frame. Right. Now they go and tell their people like, yo, this white dude punked this fucking dude off. Now it spreads like wildfire because this dude's running around the camp like the biggest, toughest dude in the world. And still, nobody wants to say nothing to this black dude because they're scared of him. I go to the library and I'm looking at books and shit like that, and I fucking come back to the block. He's got all the black dudes all in a big ball in the corner. I'm like, what's going on here? Right? I knew right away this dude's trying to pull some racist shit. He's trying to rally up the black dudes and say that I was on some racist shit. Watch. Sure enough, the head black dude of the block, now they had a shot caller for them dudes. He comes to me and goes, yo, Matty. It's like, fuck this dude up. Fuck this dude up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying, bro. He won't come in my cell. He said, yo, 5 minutes. He says at 5 minutes, he's going to come to your cell. And I said, oh, what about going to his cell? Because he wanted to go. He said I was stunting. I was trying to pull some shit. So he wanted to fight me in his cell. So we'll go to his cell. I don't care where we fight. He lives all the way in the end of the tier on the 3rd tier, which is all the way up on the top tier. And I have freer heights. I don't even care. So I'm like, we'll go up there to his cell. I don't care where we do it. You know what I mean? We'll do it. So this dude comes over to me and he tells me, yeah, 5 minutes to wreck. He's like, we gonna do this. We gonna do this. I'll come in your cell. He's like, yo, we don't even have to do like face punches and nothing if you don't want. He's trying to call my bluff. I'm like, no face punches. I said, bro, we're fighting. And he's like, yeah, we fight. We do this however you want to do it, bro. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. So I'm like, all right. He's like, at 5 minutes. He's like, meet me in your cell. I said, all right, I'll be in there. I'm going to be in there. So 5 minutes to rec comes. I'm in my cell with my shirt off, and I'm waiting. And I'm thinking someone's going to peel around the corner and just barrel in there. Sometimes people work themselves up, or they try to rush the situation so that they can get the upper hand, whatever. I don't know. I'm waiting. And now they're like closing doors. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where is this dude? So I look out my cell. I don't see anybody. Now he's on the 3rd tier, like I said. So I go out onto the tier and I look up and I'm looking for him on the tier and I don't see him. And then all of a sudden I hear, Matty. And so I walk back out on the tier and I look up and he's looking over the railing and he goes, and I'm like, the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? I go in my cell and I'm sitting on my bunk like, what the fuck is going on, dude, right? This dude is weird as hell, dude. So I ain't paying no mind, dude. Now, we go to yard that night. I come in from yard, and I'm a tier runner, and I'm mopping up the tier, and I get to the shot caller for the black dude's cell, and I'm kicking it with him. He's like, yo, Matty, come here real quick. He's like, yo. He's like, bro. He's like, you're not going to be happy about this, dude, right? But, he's like, this dude's been walking around the yard telling all the black dudes that you're dodging him. You're not trying to fight him. That he was looking for you all day yesterday, and that he couldn't find you. And I said, what? This motherfucker dodged me, bro. Did you see what he did at 5 minutes to wreck? He tells me like this. He's like, yeah, I know what he did. He's like, I know what he did, but, you know, he's telling everybody that, and they're all thinking that right now. He's thinking that you're dodging this dude, that he punked off some white kid. I said, oh, okay. So I take my mop and my mop ringer and my bucket and shit, and I get up to the 3rd tier, and I'm mopping out in front of his cell. I say, yo, come here. I get him up to the bars, and I say, oh, look it. This is how it's going to go, bro. In the morning time, you're going to come out of your cell and you're going to walk up to everybody. Everybody. Now, I mean everybody. You're going to say that you're a bitch and you've been dodging me all day. Like you said about me, right? You went out the yard. You told people that you were dodging. I was dodging you, right? I said, nah, man, it ain't even like that. Said, come on, bro. Be a man right now, bro. I know you've been saying that. So tomorrow morning when the doors crack, you're going to come out and you're going to tell everybody you're a bitch and you've been dodging me. Or I'm going to wrap this mop ringer right here that I'm holding in my right now around that fucking stupid head of yours, right? And he said, oh, why it's going to be like that, man? Yo, I'm walking away. I said, yo. Now, I'm not expecting this to happen. I'm just putting him in a situation where he cannot dodge me. He has to fight me. So when he doesn't do this, I'm going to punch his head in and be, you know, I would have already been right about it, but I want to embarrass the kid and make him want to fight me because I don't want to fight somebody who will not fight me, right? And I'm already getting those vibes from him, and he's scared to death. He doesn't want to fight me. But because he's been a fighter and he's been known for fighting, I'm thinking maybe he just needs some grease in his wheels. So this is the grease. Now he'll fight me, right? Morning time comes. I almost forget I had this conversation, right? I'm sitting there talking to some people, group of them, like 10 people, waiting for breakfast to come. To open the gate for breakfast and we all go to chow hall, right? Now, this dude walks over to where I'm standing. He's like, yo, Matty. And I said, what the fuck out of my face, bro, right? And I walked a little bit away from him, right? And stood there like, clown ass dude, bro. I didn't have my hands crossed. Sorry. I was like my hands in my pants almost because it's the morning time and balls get cold. I'm standing there and I could see him out the corner of my eye, but I don't know what he's about to do yet. But I can tell he's on some docile shit the way he was carrying himself. So I'm like, this dude's a bitch. I'm not even trying to have that cop and deuces nothing. I thought he was gonna try to be like, yo, Maddie, I don't want no problems, shit like that, right? But this dude goes, yo, I just want to tell y'all something. So I just want to tell you something. He's like, yo, I'm a bitch, and I was wrong. Maddie was not dodging me. I was dodging Maddie all day yesterday. I marked my dead brother's soul, right? I had a tattoo right here, bro. Rest in peace, Chris, bro, right here. On my dead brother's soul. This motherfucker came out and said, I'm a bitch, and I was dodging Maddie all day yesterday. To a whole crowd of people. And I'm dying laughing. I busted out as soon as he started saying that shit. I'm like, oh, shit, this dude really did it. Now, I was going to whoop his ass, but this is too good to be true. I'm like, yo, this dude really did it, dude. Right? Bro, I go to the chow hall, and I tell my brother, because my twin brother was my co-defendant on my 10 to 12, and I tell him, yo, look at this is what happened, bro, right? I don't know if this dude's trying to, like, rock me to sleep or something. And it's like, this is so crazy. Like, this dude was the toughest dude in the whole camp yesterday. And now he's coming out his cell telling everybody he's a bitch and he's dodging me. I've never seen anything like it in my life before. Just the switch up, like how tough he was to how much of a bitch he is, right? So I'm like, you know what, dude? This is crazy. This kid calls himself Goob or some shit. Goober. Whatever. And I'm like, bro, this dude is a bitch, bro, right? So I'm like, you know, I tell my table, like, yo, just be on point because I don't know what's going to happen with this dude, bro. I don't know if he's trying to rock me to sleep or something because this is weird. Never seen anything like it. So everybody's kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know, they're keeping an eye out because they think, like, you know, this shit's going to be popping because when I tell my table, be on point, like, they're thinking, like, oh, something really gonna happen because I don't usually say shit like that, but because it was so out of the ordinary, I did not know how to take it. I'm thinking like, this dude can't be real. It can't be real. Dude's way too tough to be doing some shit like that. Nope. It was real. Dude was scared to death, went out to the yard and told people, I'm a bitch and I've been dodging Maddie. Told everybody. Said, wow, this dude's on some serious bitch ass shit, bro, right? You know, treating people like the dirt on the bottom of his shoe until I punked his ass off, pulled his card all the way, and now he's a straight up bitch, right? Then after this, right, he goes from being the loudest, most obnoxious person on the camp to the quietest, most docile, respectful person. Respects everybody now, talks to everybody like they're, hey, yeah, different tone of voice, different accent, everything. This dude changed drastically. Like, drastically. Different all the way around. And I heard he went to Concord after this, right? And when he got down there, he was doing the same thing. Very quiet, very respectful. So I guess that's all it takes is just a little bit of elbow grease, right? Put a motherfucker right back in their place, dude, right? Pull their ticket. And that's it. That's all it takes, man. You stick up for yourself to the toughest bullies that present to you, right? No matter how they present, whether you believe it or not, you dig deep and fucking show them motherfuckers that you don't give a fuck how they are, what they're acting like, and how tough you think they are. Put that work in, bro. Don't let motherfuckers walk on you in prison. Never. Never let somebody pull your card in prison, bro. Never. Because they bleed the same blood as you. They breathe the same air as you. They are in there with you, in a cell next to you. What makes them any different than you? I don't care if they grew up watching their friends get mowed down by choppers, or if they grew up in the sticks fighting dudes at campfires, right? You guys are men. You fucking handle yourself like a man, period. You respect the people who respect you, and you go above and beyond to disrespect the people who disrespect you. And never, never stand for bullying. Never. Not in prison. Not anywhere. It's a simple sign, bro. Show respect to get respect. W number out. Love you guys. Salute. Be back for the next one. Watch for that Murder Inc. video. I'm dropping it soon.